Wow, if you could only see what I've got sitting here right in front of me. 10 of my favourite limited edition movies of 2020, and I'm going to run through my personal picks of the best releases of the year, or my favourite anyway, and we've got lots to get started with here, so let's just jump into number 10, which is 101 Films Silent Night, Deadly Night 1 and 2. Now the reason that this made it in my list is because I'd never seen the movies and I really enjoyed these slasher classic type movies, but because of the packaging that comes with it, because of the extras on this, it's got 2 documentaries, feature-length documentaries all about the making of the films, and they are wonderful companion pieces. They are captivating and really enjoyable. Some of the best making of docs I've seen as yet. Now, there's lots more extras on the discs as well, but for a horror fan like myself, it was a no-brainer to get that, and I absolutely loved it. Number 9 on my list is Masters of Cinema's 228 Kwaidan. Now, I had wanted to see this for the longest while. This was one that I pre-ordered as soon as it was announced, and it sold out almost as quickly, and now goes for silly money if you can afford it. Now, the movie was wonderful, the transfer is terrific, the extras were plentiful, the booklet was terrific, but for me it was the movie and such a fantastic transfer that just nailed it for me. A wonderfully fantastic anthology film, and something that became a new favourite of mine that I just discovered this year. Now at number 8 we have, from Indicator, the Fu Manchu Cycle. I longingly remember these ones. I remember watching them with my father and really enjoying these films. It was something that I was really curious to going back to, and they are varied throughout them all. I did 5 reviews on all 5 of the movies, and I feel that they are completely worthwhile in checking out and getting this set. It's got some wonderful extras. It's got an additional movie on the 3rd movie, just from the same director. It's got a couple of silent shorts which are about 30 minutes in length that have been got new music with it, and the music is absolutely wonderful. Very different for silent shorts, but absolutely wonderful with it. The intros, the commentaries, the book, the poster, everything about this one screamed class, and I utterly loved it. Now on to number 6, which is another Indicator box set, just released in November, late November, and that was the Columbia Noir number 1. Now, for me, this was a set that I picked up. I was interested in, but I'd never heard of any of the movies. But they're all done, or most of them are done by famous directors whose careers I knew some of their films and enjoyed. I loved almost all the movies on this set. There was one that I was kind of lukewarm. The rest I utterly loved. Having the Three Stooges shorts with each one was just a nice addition, unnecessary but really fun. There's a couple of shorts in here that are really amazing. There's a war one that's terrific. There's a short, Man on the Bus, which is a 30-minute little short, and that is just utterly tremendous as well. I just, pinnacle for me. Great, surprising movies that a couple of them are new favourites, and again, all amazing transfers and highly recommended. Next up, from Vinegar Syndrome, is the Beasmaster 4K UHD. This wonderful packaging, which I did an unboxing for, was just such a joy to get back. Again, you know, this is one that I watched when I was younger, lots of times. I loved it. Going back to it, a little bit worried it wasn't going to hold up, but the transfer is absolutely outstanding, as always with Vinegar Syndrome, but it's the wealth of extras that come with this. There's a new edition of the movie that has new improved VFX with it on a Blu-ray disc. It's got a ridiculous amount of extras with this as well, from commentaries to full-length feature documentaries. This is how a limited edition package should come, just as standard. It feels limited, it feels special, and it's a movie that I utterly adore. So now we're into the big boys. Now we're into the top 5 of my favourite limited editions, and number 5 is Walkabout by Second Sight. This was a ridiculously packed disc. First of all, the movie looks amazing. It's had a great transfer. All of these have. I'm going to probably say that about everyone. It has the book, it has the screenplay, it has a book of essays as well. It's just an absolute outstanding package by Second Sight. I mean, they really took the effort to give this movie something that it needed. But beyond all that, beyond all the packaging, the movie itself is simply outstanding and one of my favourites that, again, I went back to and forgotten how much I loved. Simple tale, really well told, and given a wonderful package. Number 4 on my list, and from Arrow, comes the monstrous Gamera set. Now, this is an absolute giant of a thing. It's got, I think, 11 or 12 movies on this one. It's got a host of extras on this. It's got comic books, which are utterly wonderful. That won me over straight away. Again, it's a set that's sold out. It was one that I waited on. I wasn't 100% sure I was going to get straight away, but I'm glad I jumped on it. Just getting this collector's edition was utterly wonderful. The art inside it was exemplary, and this feels like a standout from Arrow. It is their best release of the year. I think it would be their best release of almost any year that they've had. They've really put all effort into it, and when you compare it to Criterion's Godzilla, you can really see how this one is much more valued than that, in my opinion. Number 3 on my list from Scream Factory is the Friday the 13th Collection Deluxe Edition. All movies in the series, and I utterly love Friday the 13th. It is my favourite of the slasher series. I'm not saying it's the best, but it's my favourite. It's one that I love, and I just didn't have the movies on Blu-ray. I don't know why. When this set was announced, I jumped on it. I was eager to get it. Import fees be damned, I was getting this thing, and it lived up to what I wanted. Wonderful extras, amazing 4K transfers on the first 4 movies. I wish we'd got it on part 6 as well, but we didn't quite get there. I think it's terrific, and if you're a Friday the 13th fan, this was an unbelievable release, one that you couldn't miss out on. Number 2 on my list, and it's a personal favourite of mine, and it's Arrow Video again with the 4K release of Tremors. A movie that I have utterly adored since the 90s, since I discovered it. This one comes with what only can be described as the best transfer I think I've ever seen. Just straight away as soon as I put it on, I was sending pictures to friends going, check this out, it's amazing. You get posters, you get a couple of posters, you get a book about it, you get a wealth of extras on this. There's a whole Blu-ray disc with extras on this one. I've barely scratched the surface of watching them, and they've all been wonderful so far, particularly the special effects ones, which show a lot of miniatures and map paintings that I didn't even know were in the movie. This is an utter joy of a movie where all the characters are wonderful. There's not one that you hate amongst them all. You kind of like all the characters. They're enjoyable. They're nice to each other. There's a great bromance between the 2 leads. And for me, this was just a utter personal choice of one of my favourite movies getting the treatment it deserved. And my number 1 pick, my favourite release of the year, and I think you could probably guess what it is, because I've been on about this one for a while, and that is The Dawn of the Dead from Second Sight Films. This is a standout amongst standouts. You know, it's a movie that was giving a ridiculous treatment. The 4K transfers on all 3 of the releases are utterly wonderful, getting them in the best condition they'll ever be. The extras disc, the soundtracks, the novelisation, the other books that come with it, essays. It's exhaustive. It is a pricey item, but it is a beautifully designed, stunning item, which I'm sure everybody's seen all the unboxings online. But my goodness, this was a pinnacle of collecting for me. A movie that I utterly love, getting a downright exuberant treatment. A movie collection that one film housed in a wonderful box of just terrific material. The extras disc was terrific, lots of feature length products on there as well, some better than others, but the wealth of material is undeniable. Just a terrific release. I love 2020 for its limited editions. It hurt having to leave some off. I'd love to know what your favourite release of the year was. Let me know in the comment box below, and I'll see you next time on Man v Film.